Coming up, sending parents back to school, why some are headed to the classroom to understand how to deal with their own teenagers.
And hear from a dad and his teen daughter next. There they are. How do you deal with a teen? He'll tell us.
Well, listen up, parents. A lot of you out there say that you're having a harder time than ever connecting with your kids, including mostly your teenagers. So now some parents have resorted to going back to school to figure out how to deal with teenagers. These parent universities, as they're called, are popping up across the country. But do they work? Bob Retger says the relationship with his daughter, Ashley, was not that great until he enrolled in these classes. And I welcome Bob Retger and Ashley Retger to join me now to talk about it. Welcome, guys.
Thanks. Good morning.
Okay, Bob, I want to start with you. About 2 years ago, you say that your relationship with Ashley, who at the time was, I guess, 15 years old, was becoming strained and was deteriorating. What were some of the problems you were having?
Well, it was, the everyday drama and not really knowing how to cope with it and how to really get through. And I was trying as hard as I could, and I think I was failing pretty good at it.
Ashley, what did you think the problem was with yours and your dad's relationship?
Well, we just kind of had a disconnect about it. He didn't really know how to communicate to me, and that was the big problem, where he would start yelling and I would just block him out.
Sure, you're not alone. So many teenagers do that. What's so fascinating about your story, Bob and Ashley, is that, Bob, you came to believe it wasn't Ashley who had to change, but it was you. So you decided to take advantage of this parent university, go back to school, take some classes. Let me tell our viewers what some of them are called. Parties and the Law was the name of one, Sexting and Social Networking, and Alcohol and Drug Awareness. What did you learn in some of these classes, Bob?
Well, the first thing I learned, I was lucky enough, the first session was by Dr. Michael Bradley, and he was talking about dysfunctional parenting. And I was wondering how he knew me so well. But then he started talking about what really worked. And that really started to connect, and I got involved with his book. And within a couple of weeks, you could feel the changes in the house. And within a couple of months, all the tension was gone. And the only person in the house that changed was me. And it was, really learning how to connect with the kids and how to understand their world so that you have some relevance in what you say to them.
Ashley, how did your dad change after taking these classes, and how did your relationship with him change?
Well, he talks to me a lot more on my level, and when I got in trouble, instead of coming at me, screaming at me, telling me what I did wrong, he sat me down and he talks to me like on a respectful level, and that's really how you got to talk to us, because if you yell at us, it's not going to work, and we just get defensive. But, he talks to me on my level, and I respect him a lot more, and I'm willing to listen and willing to accept my punishment rather than just being mad about it.
That's incredible. It sounds like your dad really got schooled in the ways of teenagers, and it really worked. Bob, how much did this parent university, these classes, cost?
Absolutely nothing. Through our high school district, this is the Glenbard High School District out in the western Chicago suburbs, these classes are all free. And they were basically funded by a grant from the Sabrin Goodman Center here in Chicago. Larry Goodman's daughter died, granddaughter passed away 2.5 years ago from a heroin overdose. And we got a $100,000 grant last summer funding our speakers for 3 years.
Wow.
And so these are classes that are available free to anyone in the community. And so
it's great. I mean, it sure has worked out for you guys, and we want to tell our viewers that it's not just in your community. Parent universities like this are sprouting up all over the country to help parents and teenagers reconnect. Bob Retger and Ashley Retger, we're so happy that it worked out for you guys. You seem much closer and to have a great relationship now. And if our viewers want to know how they can take classes like this, just go to our website at foxandfriends.com, and we'll tell you if there's a class in your area, too. Thanks so much for coming on, guys.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, meanwhile, as you know, it is decision day for Democrats. The vote on their health care bill is just hours away, and Republicans are fighting till the last minute to stop this from passing.